Welcome to today's practice. This week, we've been working with the fire element, one of my favorites for a yoga class. So, with the fire element, we're drawing in this idea of tapas, and it can be interpreted in a few different ways. But on the mat, it's often about building heat in the body, challenging yourself, sitting with something that feels uncomfortable instead of just running away from it. So today's practice is a little more fiery, short but sweet, and you're going to get a little core work and get your blood flowing and hopefully turn on that inner furnace to burn for the rest of the day as you go about your day with a little more energy, passion, and discipline. So let's start seated, and we'll just close our eyes here and finding your comfortable seat, beginning to scan the body. Notice where you're holding some tension, where you're gripping. How's the breath this morning or afternoon, whenever you're doing this practice? Can you take some deeper breaths? Imagining that flame right in your belly. And with each breath, you're giving some oxygen to that flame, allowing it to burn a little brighter. And gently blinking the eyes open, let's bring your right hand down to the mat, left arm up and overhead, finding a side stretch. And come through center, switch side. And back through center, reaching the arms wide, opening through the heart, looking up. Exhale, folding over the legs. And coming back up. Interlace the fingers behind the back, finding that heart opening once more. Reaching the arms behind you. And releasing the arms, switching the cross of your legs to fold over the legs once more. And coming back up. And we'll get into the core work. So coming off any cushion or blanket that you're sitting on, we're going to find boat pose. Balancing on your sit bones, you can bring your hands behind your knees for a moment. This is the most basic boat pose. So knees are bent. It's really a balancing pose. And with all this little balancing, you're turning on your core. So you can keep your hands under your thighs here for added support. Or you can come with me and reach the arms forward. Continuing that wibble, wobble, balancing act in your core. And then if you want to come to the next level, working towards straightening the legs. Immediately, you should feel that fire starting to turn on in your belly. Balancing here. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, lifting. You can keep your legs straight or you can bend them for this dynamic exercise. Don't forget to breathe. I like to exhale as I go down. Inhale, coming up. And let's do 3 more. And sitting all the way up, cross your legs. Going to take your hands along your sides here, pressing into your hands. Lift your sit bones up off the ground. Now, challenge yourself a little bit further. Going to try to get that energy to pull your feet up off the ground as well. So that's a real core activator. You can also use your blocks for this. So bring your blocks alongside your body. Press your hands into your blocks. Lift your sit bones up off the ground. Maybe you just stay here and try to get the feeling of engaging the core to lift the feet up. Right, so we have the core turned on a little bit, but this is a fire practice, so let's do just a little bit more. We're going to roll onto our backs, do a little rock and roll here. Get that spine massage. And then coming all the way down, placing your feet on the mat. Now we're going to tabletop the legs. Press your hands into your knees into hands. You should feel that turn on the core right away. Start pressing your lower back into the mat, trying to get your back flat to the mat. Lifting your head and chest up off the mat. Now we're going to reach your right leg, right arm long. Exhale through center. Left leg, left arm long. Make sure that your hand is constantly pressing into your knee. Alternating sides. Moving with your breath. And if this is too much on your neck, you can always keep the head resting down on the mat. Keep going here. Let's do 3 more on each side. And last one. And resting down, pull your knees in. Give your back a little massage, rolling circles on the lower back. Grab the outer edges of the feet, happy baby. And we're going to come back up and over our feet, coming on into tabletop. Let's move through some cat-cows here, stretching out the front of the abs that you just worked. Exhaling, pressing, looking at your belly button. Inhaling, tailbone up, looking up. Exhale. And finding a neutral spine. Send your left leg out long behind you. Now we're going to turn on the obliques. You've done Pilates. You might know scrambled eggs. We're going to get into a little version of scrambled eggs. So keeping that left leg strong, bring it alongside you, coming to touch the floor, right parallel with your hip. Then lifting back up, coming back up and around. So you're really just swinging your leg out to the side, almost like a dog at a hydrant. Touch your toe down, up, back, and around. Moving slowly, deliberately. And we'll do 2 more. Last one. And finding a neutral spine, bring the left knee down. Send your right leg back. And we'll do the same thing on the right side, bringing the right leg out and parallel with the hip. Back up and around. This is turning on your obliques, your hips, all the muscles that keep you stable as you go throughout your day. And two more. Nice work. And coming back to tabletop pose. Remember, child's pose is always here for you, always an option. Toes together, knees wide, pressing back to child's pose. Anytime throughout the practice you want to take child's pose, you can always pause the video and take child's pose as needed. But we only have a short time here together, so we're going to keep pushing through. And again, what do you feel when you want to quit and you don't let yourself and you push just a little bit harder? Now, I know there's a lot of cultural talk about resting and bed rotting and all of that. And there is value to resting when you need to, but there's also value to pushing yourself sometimes a little bit beyond your comfort zone. So listen to your body. Don't do anything that is painful, but maybe try to sit with the fire a little bit longer than you normally would. So we'll come into plank pose. Strong hands, gripping with your fingertips, pressing your feet behind you. Straight line from your heels up through the crown of your head, finding the strong plank. And drop your knees. Now, if you want to keep your knees lifted for these push-ups, go right ahead. I can't. So if you want to stay with me, drop your knees, but keep that plank pose in your upper body. We're going to do 10 push-ups. So inhaling to lower, exhaling on the press up. Slow and controlled. And 3, 2, last one. And pressing back to child's pose for a moment. And we'll press back to down dog. Deceptively challenging, those push-ups. So let this down dog feel restful, feel good. Make sure your hands are still activated here. You can pedal the feet out, bending one knee and then the other. Let's take the heels up and over to the right, stretching out the obliques, side body, back through center, and to the left. And back through center. Strong down dog. Looking forward, bend your knees, step your feet to meet your hands, forward fold. Shake your head out, yes and no. And inhale, sweep arms wide, coming all the way up, hands to heart center. Let's flow through Vinyasa. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, plank pose. Holding plank, fire up the core. And let's take some shoulder taps. 1, 2. See if you can keep your hips level as possible. And last one. And lowering down halfway or all the way. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath here. Let it all go. And send your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Send it back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through. Bringing your back foot down at a 45-degree angle. Warrior 1. Inhale, arms come up. And in this warrior 1, bringing your hands behind your head. Deep bend in the front knee. Notice if your ribs are opening up here. You're finding a little back bend. And let's start to turn on the core. So inhale, opening up. Exhale, closing down the core. Inhale, opening. Exhale, bringing the ribs towards the hip points. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, ribs to hips, finding that engagement in the core. And 2 more times. Beautiful. Keeping that engagement in the core. Interlace the hands behind the back, opening through the heart. You can look up, but don't lose completely that ribs to hips engagement. Exhale, folding, humble warrior. Allowing your head to drop, bringing your shoulders to the inside of that right leg, and letting your hands fall overhead. You need to keep your hands down here for balance. That would be totally great modification. And inhale, sweeping the arms back up, coming back to warrior 1. And we're going to come into standing splits. So you can use your blocks here under your hands or bring your hands to your mat to frame your front foot. You're going to launch off your back foot. Send your left leg high. Nose comes towards your right knee. That nice stretch through the right hamstring. Inhale, exhale, bending both knees, Shiva squat. Inhale, left leg goes long. Exhale, Shiva squat. Left leg goes long. Last one, Shiva squat. Now bringing your left knee behind your right foot, we're going to come into a seated twist. Reaching your left arm high, you can either grab hold of your right knee, or you can bring your elbow to the outer edge of your knee, twisting, looking back over your right shoulder. And coming back through center. Going to press into that right foot once more, coming back into your standing split. And now taking your left leg, just like we did in the scrambled eggs, out to the side. And back up. Out to the side. And back up. And last one, out to the side. See how long you can keep it lifted until it's time to place it down beside the right foot, finding your forward fold. And inhale, arms reach wide, coming all the way back up, hands to heart center. And time for side 2. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Hold that plank for a moment. This time, let's do toe taps. So bring your left toe to the outer edge of your left mat. Right toe, outer edge of right mat, just tapping your toe. Keeping your shoulders stacked over your wrists strong. And returning to center, lowering halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And catch your breath. Notice what's going on with your thoughts. Notice if you want to quit. Just got one more side left. And bringing your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Send it back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Send it back up. Exhale, knee to nose, stepping it through. Back foot comes 45-degree angle. Inhale, warrior one. Take a moment here, allowing your ribs to splay open, looking up, finding that little back bend. And then bringing your hands behind your head, re-engaging the core, noticing what that feels like to bring those ribs back in. And inhale, looking up. Exhale, engaging. Looking up, engage. One last time. And keeping that engagement, interlace the fingers behind your back the awkward way, finding a little space through the heart. Exhale, folding inner edge of that left leg. Humble warrior. And inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, we'll find standing splits, launching off your back foot. Strong standing leg. Nose comes towards your left knee. Right foot reaches high. Inhale, exhale. Shiva squat. Inhale, exhale. Shiva squat. Inhale, exhale. Shiva squat. And coming down, finding your twist. Right arm comes outer edge of left leg, looking over your left shoulder. Not sure how long this little pain in the butt is going to last out here, but we'll see. And coming back through center, planting your hands, pressing into that left foot, standing split again. And bringing your right leg out to the side and back up. Standing scrambled eggs. And back up. And last time, this time, keeping it lifted as long as you can until you place it next to your left foot. Forward fold. Great work. Inhale, arms reach wide. Hands come to heart center. And we'll move down to the ground. Coming into a squat, feet come a little wider than hips width distance apart. Bending into your knees, hands to heart center. Always the option here to put a block or cushion under your sit bones. Opening through the hips. working that mobility. And we'll come down all the way onto our backs. You earned it. Now let's stretch it out. So bring your left foot over your right knee, pressing that knee away from you, and grab under the right leg, finding figure four stretch. Quiet olive. And send your right leg long on the mat. Put your left foot down, and we're going to twist over to the right. Looking over your left shoulder. Option here to bend your right leg. Grab hold of the ankle. And come through center, releasing. Plant your left foot on the mat. Right heel comes over left knee. Figure four stretch. If you like, you can gently press that knee, the right knee away from you with your right elbow. And plant the left foot down. Send it long on the mat. Plant the right foot, and we'll twist over to the left. Looking over your right shoulder. Again, option to bend the left knee, grab hold of the left foot. Cat catches its tail. Get a nice quad stretch along with the twist. And come back through center. Finding happy baby. And releasing everything down to the mat for Shavasana. Letting it all go, all the efforts. Finding that balance between effort and release, discipline and surrender. It's a constant dance between the two, and we get to practice that here on the mat. And you can stay here as long as you like. You're ready to come out of Shavasana, taking a deep breath. Bringing some movement into your fingers and toes. Bringing your arms up overhead for a full body stretch. And bend the knees. Roll over to your side. Find a fetal pose. And for a moment here, just say something kind to yourself. Practicing positive self talk. And gently pressing yourself up to find a seat. Reconnecting with that intention of bringing some fire, some passion, some structure, some discernment into your week. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.